Hey guys, don't forget to go like and subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. We'd also love to hear feedback and questions from our listeners about today's episode. Feel free to shoot us an email at askSoSheSaid@gmail.com or SoSheSaidShow on Instagram. And without further ado, let's get this party started. Hey guys, welcome back to SoSheSaid. I'm Asha.
I'm Tam.
And today, I guess we're going to have like a topic. This is going to be a topic episode. And, you know, me and Tam were just talking about how people communicate differently. Men versus women, introverts versus extroverts, ambiverts, which is something new that I've came across. And I don't know. I feel like over the years, I've identified myself as an extrovert. Like, I'm pretty open. I think I'm an open book, sometimes too open and very trusting of people when I shouldn't be. And I think as of late, I've reassessed myself and I've started to reconsider myself to be an introvert.
That's interesting. As a person that's lived with you, I can say that I think you are a decent mix of both. Because when people are around or like in a crowd or say in a party, for example, you will be like the life of the party. You'll try to entertain everybody. You will like be nice to everybody, very outgoing, very like
Social.
Yeah, social butterfly. Mm-hmm. But when that's over, or like maybe when your time is kind of running out, like you see it go down, kind of like a video game. Like it's less nice, it's less talkative, it's less and less and less and less and less, and then it's just closed. Like, get away from me. Time is up. Like, it's Asha time now. And then I don't think this is a bad thing either, but this is just from knowing you, that there's not a real good in between. So you can be super social around a bunch of people, but when you want to be by yourself, you want to be by yourself. Like, it's fuck everybody. You do not want people around. Like, don't bother me. Don't come in here trying to like say some shit or do some shit. Like, no, it's gonna be quiet.
But here's the funny thing though, like, it's very rare that I'm surrounded by many people. Mm-hmm. I feel like most of my life is me by myself.
Okay, yeah. So maybe that is why when your like social clock runs out, you're like, nobody, period. It's closed.
Yeah, like I'm really comfortable being by myself, mm-hmm. like most of the time. Like, it's weird for me to share my space with other people, which is why I think it's hard for me to communicate. But how do you identify yourself? I think you're definitely an introvert.
Yeah, I think I'm a super introvert, almost borderline being a loner. So it's kind of hard for me to be around other people. Because it's not like I go out of my way to be mean, but I'm not like a very agreeable person. If I don't agree, I just don't fucking agree. I don't really give into peer pressure. If I don't want to do this or go there, I'm just not going. Like, there's very hard lines with me about things and what I'm going to do. So I think that would make it hard to be like outgoing or have a bunch of friends, because it just automatically weeds people out. And I am, maybe because of my upbringing, I think I'm a good judge of character. So if on site or on first interaction, if there's something about you I don't like, you're just out now. Like, I do not like you. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Like, you got to stay over there. I'm not ever going to be mean to you or rude to you, but you were just not allowed, like, in my 5 foot.
So you would say that you're a full-blown introvert?
Yes, like, back it up. Okay. I don't care about none of that. In the club, I'm like by myself, dancing by myself, drinking by myself too. Like, I don't need...
It's so strange. You know, like, I almost feel like for me, I don't try to interact with other people. I feel like people naturally want to interact with me.
That's what happens with me. And I feel like, why do you want to be my friend so bad? I'm not that fucking cool. But like, I'll try to be nice if I like you too.
Yeah, like I'm an Uber driver, like, so I'll literally just be sitting in my seat. Hi, how's it going today? Good. You know, I have my music going. I'm like jamming to my music. You know, don't listen to what people say. Mm-hmm. You know, whatever. Like, just in my car, wind blowing, like, just, you know, enjoying the day. So is this your only job? Like, people just like love to strike up conversation with me. And, you know, like, I'm just like, oh, no, and, you know, I start talking and getting into conversations with people, which is why I'm like, okay, I could be very extroverted because, like, I'm accepting of whatever energy, that's given to me. But then sometimes when people get in my car and they start talking to me, I'll be like, fuck. Look, I really just wanted to just drive you to where we need to go. Just play the music. You could text on your phone, be on your Instagram. I could just, think, because sometimes I really just have shit that's on my brain, and I'm just
feel like.
Yeah, sometimes driving is like my little form of therapy. I'm just driving and thinking. You know what I mean? And then you talking to me about whatever, and I just had the same conversation with the person before you. And I don't feel like talking about it. And I feel like majority of the time I don't know, I don't feel like I communicate how I feel very well to other people. And I feel like I'm consistent with that. When it comes to friends, I could be upset with somebody and then not necessarily tell that person, but I'll talk to somebody else about it. Well, this person made me upset and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, well, why am I not having a conversation with this person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just internalize my feelings. That's why I was ambivert, because it's half and half. I don't know how to communicate how I feel to the person that it matters the most to.
I think I'm that way too, but it's a different way. So because for most of my life I was the only child. My mom had kids, my sister 8 years after me, and my brother 10 years after me. So I was already fully used to being by myself when I got siblings. So I'm used to dealing with everything internally. If somebody upset me, if I had a bad day, whatever, because I'm the only kid in this house. So I just deal with my problems on my own. So much so to where it kind of weirds me out when other people want to talk through things or want to express their feelings to me. I'm like, whoa, why can't you just deal with that on your own and come to me when you're happy? I have a hard time being around people that are upset or that are feeling some type of way, because I'm like, bro, fix that on your own, get a journal or some shit, and then me and you could be cool. But why do I have to help you work through your sadness or your bad day or whatever? And I feel like it's just because I didn't have that, so I don't really know how to take it from other people. And in a way I sort of take it as weakness. You're not mentally tough enough to work out the shit on your own. You got to come to me.
See, and I don't know. I feel like it's weakness when I express myself, because I feel
that's how I am. Why can't you deal with it on your own?
I feel like most people view me to be a very tough person. Oh, Asha gets through it. She's very resilient. She just gets through everything that happens to her and blah, blah, blah. She can handle it. She can handle it. But I'm just yo, if you for real know me, you'll know I'm one of the most sensitive, emotional people out there. I just put up a facade, I'm good,
I do that, but I think it's more of a protective than trying to be fake, because like I said, I take sort of showing your emotion too much as a weakness. So if I'm always showing you that you got to me, or that you upset me, or that you hurt my feelings all the time, I feel like you got one up on me now.
Yeah.
And if I just keep it to myself, I can deal with it on my own.
It's a pride thing.
Yeah, I'm not about to let you feel like you got me in my fucking feelings. No, if you don't give a fuck, I don't times two. Back up. I'm not about to, if you're not crying, I'm not crying. I'm good.
Right.
And maybe that's detrimental in a way to yourself, because I am very sensitive.
But then when are you, okay, so for me, in terms of dating and shit like that, I almost feel like maybe men that I come across just feel like I don't give a fuck, because I don't show enough emotion. But I'm just I don't want to look weak. I don't want to show you how I really feel, because I don't want to feel stupid if you don't understand where I'm coming from, or you try to flip this shit and make me feel like my feelings aren't valid. So I'll talk it out with a friend and be like, do you think I'm tripping? Blah, da, 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 this, that, and the third, or whatever. And it's no, I really need to tell you how I feel, because it doesn't have shit to do with the friend who I'm talking to. This is between us two. You know what I mean? Or how I felt in this moment. And then I feel they might not take it me not saying anything and just writing you off. You're okay, well, she just doesn't fucking care.
I feel in a way with myself, I will do the same thing, but it's because like I don't like when there's not reciprocity and there's not equality in the situation.
Right.
Like I think I'm an egalitarian by nature. Like I really like things to be on the same playing field. So if you're not giving me a certain
the same energy,
yeah, then I'm not gonna give it to you. And like I'm not about to be the person to open myself up either if I don't feel like it's being reciprocated. And then my pet peeve in serious situations, like when you know the person, or say if I'm in a relationship with the person, I have no problem with coming to you and telling you exactly what you did, exactly how I feel, whatever, because like I've dealt with it enough inside. I'm not going to tell you at first when you piss me off, but maybe later in the day or the next day. I'm like, look, yesterday you did X, Y, and Z. It made me feel this way and I don't like that. But for the person to come back to me and try to argue with me about my feelings, that shit sets me off. And that makes me not want to talk to you no more.
Right. When they try to make you feel like you're not valid in how
like,
you
how
feel.
Are you going to tell me how I feel?
Right.
Or that's not what you meant or whatever. I don't care what you meant. It's how you made me feel.
Exactly.
And now I'm letting you know that. So what are we going to do moving forward? Don't tell me about what I said or how I'm conveying how I feel. It doesn't, maybe upsets you. No, you did something.
Now, do you feel like you attract certain people to you, like based off the person that you are?
Yes, and I've come to grips with this now that I've been 25, but I feel like you get what you give, and because I'm like very emotionally unavailable and closed off, I attract other selfish people.
Ooh, girl.
Yeah.
Preaching.
I attract selfish people because in a way, when you're emotionally unavailable and you don't say
how you feel
all the time about everything, you attract people that like are kind of takers.
Are similar
in different ways. And it may not be the exact same. So I may be very giving in certain areas of my life and I may be very empathetic, but in others I'm just very cold and I don't care. So I attract people like that. Like I've never dated a fucking nice guy. I always dated jerks.
Listen, but look, like even in like friendships and stuff like that, like if a friend was going through like some fucked up shit or like, somebody like passed away or whatever, like I don't know how to be that comforting person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there, it'll be okay. Like I don't know what to say or do.
God.
Like,
oh my God,
I can maybe buy you a present.
So for me in my own personal life and especially in my relationships, that's always caused me problems because like I said, I deal with my problems on my own, so I don't really understand another person needing a person to be there for them or whatever. So I'm not very good at like consoling people, or like if you had a bad day, like the most I can give you is like, oh, it's gonna be okay, or like
you'll get through it.
You'll get through it.
You got it. Like, you good.
Yeah, something that's very surface level. And I feel like maybe certain people want more, and I don't know how to give that.
But like you said, you a card.
I can buy you some
something.
shit. I can make you some food. Like, I can take you somewhere, try to get your mind off of it.
Yes.
But there's nothing I can do because I feel like that's internal. Like, and you got to deal with that on the inside shit. It's nothing I can do. But like outwardly, for sure, like I can buy you a car full of balloons.
See, but isn't that an introvert attribute? That's why I'm over here confused. Like, this whole time I thought it was an extrovert, but I don't even know how to fucking communicate. Yeah. I feel like extroverts are open communicators, and I'm like, I'm not going to say how I feel. Like,
yeah. And then because I'm kind of like, for lack of a better word, boring, like I'm not very outgoing, I feel like I attract people that are very outgoing, but then on the other side of it, they're like you, like they're introverts too. So they hide a lot of shit and they internalize a lot of shit and they use the life of the party stuff to like keep you at bay. Mm-hmm. To keep you away. So it's like when you peel back all of that and you're in a room by yourself with this person, you find out this person is super emotional and a lot of stuff annoys them and a lot of stuff gets on their nerves, but they too don't know how to express it. So it comes off in whatever way, and y'all are both just there dealing with the shit. Like you don't deal with your feelings and
the other person doesn't deal with their feelings, and then nothing gets fucking solved.
Nothing gets resolved, and you just keep on, just time just goes forward until one of you blows up.
Yeah.
And then that's the day where it has to happen. And it's like, oh, God, our parents should have done a better job at teaching us these things.
Okay, but then let me ask you this. So how is communication with your parents? Since we're having a communication discussion, like, okay, how were you raised to communicate?
So for me, and I think, I don't want to say like generalized, but I think most Black people, kids were raised in a certain situation where you like stay in a kid's place and you don't say a lot and you're not allowed to have an opinion about certain things because you're a child. And like I grew up between my grandparents and my mom. So with my grandparents, they're very old fashioned. Like, yeah, you stay in a child's place. You do what you're told. You don't ask why. You don't because I said so type shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then with my mom, she's younger. So it's kind of like everything is just out on the table and you can all see it. It's no such thing as a grown up and an adult. Like we all live in the house together. We all know everybody's business is out together. And there's certain things you can say, but it's within respectable bounds, of course. So like if I don't like my mom's boyfriend, maybe I could tell her, but I feel away and I don't want to hurt her feelings or whatever, so I don't tell her. But it's like she never said that I couldn't. And then on the other hand, with my dad, who was kind of more like the summertime weekend parent, I could talk to him about anything. Like he's a homie. If I have a problem, I'll go to him. I would seek advice from him before my mom or my grandma. My personal life, my relationship, my jobs, because it's like a non-judgment there. I feel like with my mom and my grandma, even though they would want to be nice and want to be there, it's a judgment that's coming with it.
There you go, because that's how I feel. I felt like me growing up, every single thing I did like was being judged,
and it's like they calculated it too.
My mom, like I feel like my parents tried to act like they didn't go through certain things or they'd never had certain shit happen to them. Like they were just like, you know, like perfect and all this other shit or whatever. And I know definitely that's false. But you know what I mean? Like I was always like, okay, well, I can't talk to my parents about this because they won't understand.
Well, at least it's that. With mine, it was masked with religion. So in my grandparents' house, you can't say or do shit because Jesus, like, no, you don't ask that. Like you're supposed to honor your parents and all this stuff. And it's like, damn, I'm gonna go to hell just because I don't like this or that.
But then I'm like, damn, like there's a lot of shit that like, you know, I want to talk about that I should really ask my mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Be able to.
Be able to talk to my mom about having, you know, been in a marriage for like 22 years or like if I just have questions about men in general or like dating and stuff like that. Like I didn't even have a conversation about like how men are supposed to treat me and, you know, like how to, you know what I mean? Just like all that type of stuff, you know, and I feel like those conversations are important to have with your children. So I felt like communication wasn't there. Like for me as a child, like growing up in my household, like I talked about homework, school, what's going on, whatever questions you ask me. And then to be honest, even if you ask me a question, I'm probably going to lie about it because I know you're going to be judging me.
That's the thing. So like with my mom, I will give her credit. Like she did kind of try because maybe what happened with her and my grandma, like my grandma being more of the old school parent, like there's certain things you can't talk about and can't ask. So my mom did try to be like more of a friendly parent, but still I knew that judgment was going to be there. So like you're saying, like if you ask me something, maybe I won't tell you the whole truth. Like I'll tell you what I want you to know. If you ask me about my day or school or wherever or boys or anything, I'm just going to tell you like the bit that I think that you can handle. Yeah, because I don't need that extra judgment. I'm already going through a lot. And basically I'm going through it by myself because I can't talk to anybody.
Exactly.
So I can handle you like.
But even as an adult, I feel like I'm going through shit by myself. And I feel like there should be like a person that I can like express myself to that, you know what I mean? Like I won't necessarily be judged by, like, which is why Twitter, I feel like, is very therapeutic. Yeah. Even though it's a public platform and people are still reading your business.
Yeah, but it's just a way to get it out. I feel you. Because sometimes I feel like I need to get it out too and not to my email or to my own text, like texting myself. I need to get it out into the world. Like, this is how I feel about this.
And, you know, like I've always said I'm a very like conversational person. Like I like phone calls. I really do enjoy phone calls. But when it comes to like the deep stuff, I'm texting you a paragraph because I cannot handle like having this actual conversation with you about my feelings because I'll cry, to be honest with you. And I don't want to be seen as being weak. Like I don't know. I don't want to like get to talking about something I know is gonna make me emotional, and then I get frustrated, and then I just start crying. Like the worst thing that could possibly happen to me in a conversation with somebody is me crying.
I feel the same way, and that's why, like, even in my relationship about serious things, I would rather text than talk.
Or write you a letter, something so you can get it.
But texting is just more efficient because it's on our phones. But it's just like, I don't like to be in situations where, yeah, I can look, we can cry, because I know certain things. I'm crying because I'm frustrated and I'm not able to communicate effectively. I'm not crying because like I'm sad or whatever. And I know other people take it as weakness.
Yes.
And then the second thing is, I don't like to be trying to communicate like my thoughts or feelings and be interrupted by somebody else, because then it gets you off track. Like now I'm not even able to like convey the real reason why I feel this way. Now I'm arguing with you about the shit that you said. Like, no, let me say everything I gotta say and get it out, and then you can read it and you can take it in and you can have time to respond. I feel like when it's a conversation, it's just like hand-to-hand combat. Like it's super quick. We're just fighting each other for the sake of going back and forth. And people don't really get a chance to like, it's not like you stop, pause an argument and you turn around and you like wait a full 60 seconds. You're like, okay, I listened to what you said. I disagree, but blah, blah, blah. It's just rapid fire. And that's why people say things they don't mean and all that. And then you got to apologize. And then some shit you say in the heat of the moment and you can't take it back. I feel like that's lost on a lot of people. You cannot take the shit back that you say out of anger, even when you apologize.
But I feel like those conversations, I know sometimes people don't mean shit, but I feel like those are like that's a genuine conversation. Like sometimes it bothers me that like you're having a conversation where you express yourself or someone expresses themselves to you, you know, via text message, and then you have time to sit and calculate a response that seems appropriate instead of just saying what the fuck you feel, which is why I appreciate in-person and telephone conversations, because you can't mask how you feel as much.
Yeah, and maybe that is why I like it, because I'm more in charge of my emotions, and I feel like I write better than I speak. So, yeah, I may not be able to like convey my ideas completely to you in person. And I don't like confrontation. I really rather just not talk to you than to fight with you. And I know that's not good, but that's just how I am. I really don't like it. Maybe I grew up in a house where people argued and shit, and I don't want to argue with nobody. So, like, you even coming off like any way combative or like aggressive, it just puts me in a place where I'm just done now. And I don't even want to, like, I shut down. I'm not even saying what I think anymore because I just want this to be over. I don't want you to be mad anymore. And I'm just looking for a way out of this conversation. Whereas other people, like some people are just passionate and they are just like trying to get their ideas across or whatever. And they're not trying to come off like they're trying to fight you. But to me, it just seems like a fight. And I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to do this.
Right. Like you would just rather like just nix the entire situation, like, and cut off all ties rather than like, because you're like, it's not worth me like being brought out of my character.
That is like you said, crying in an argument is your worst thing. Like for me, being brought out of character is my worst thing.
I hate crying, man. Maybe it's an Aries thing, I don't know, but I just do not want you to think you got the best of me and now like I'm sitting here crying. But I'm just like, okay, like, but at what point at what point, Asha, are you going to be vulnerable?
Yeah.
You know, with another individual. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have my wall built, like, so fucking high. Like, to the sky. To infinity and beyond.
And maybe that's the problem with me, too. Like, I want to be I don't have a problem with being vulnerable, but I want to do it on my terms. So, like, I maybe doing it face to face is too much for me because you're getting too much. Like, my emotion is immediately, I'm not able to compose myself. I can't keep it in. If you say some shit that really strikes a chord with me, I might start crying or I might freak out or whatever, just get out of character, and I don't want that. So, communicating, like, via text or email or, like, letter, like you said, it just puts that degree of separation. So, I can...
Either I cry or, like, there's no middle ground for me. Either I cry or I'm going to want to fight.
Yeah,
it's one of the two. Like, so you're either gonna like me being brought out of my character is either like I'm just gonna like cry about it and just be super emotional, like because I'm frustrated, or I'm just really like sad and just don't know how to process my feelings, or I just want to come for your fucking neck, like, and just like rip you to shreds. Like, it's just no middle ground.
Like, for me, it's like
therapy. I think it's calling my name.
For me, it's either I want to cry because I'm frustrated or whatever and I'm angry, or I just don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, I'm over it. I'm done with you because you said some shit I don't like. Now I don't like you. Like, it could all happen in a matter of 5 minutes. Like, I don't fuck with you no more. And I've been in arguments with people before where it's like it's getting heated or it's went on for longer than I can handle it, like 20 minutes or something. I feel like this person just talking. And I'm like, okay, so you want to break up? and the person gets so irritated and feels like so caught off guard and so disrespected, like, oh my God, why would you say that? I have a problem. I'm trying to talk it out with you, and you just want to leave. You want to break up. And I'm like, well, that's what I feel like we're getting at right now, because you seem very upset. And if you're that upset, like, clearly you don't like me. You don't want to do this. So
going to extremes.
Yeah, like, we're not about to go back and forth for another 30 minutes. Like, we could just end this now, because you are doing a lot. Too much for me. And the other person would take that as like, what? Too much for you? Like, I'm not, my opinion, my feelings aren't as valid as yours just because I can't express them calmly in the way you would like.
And that's what irks me the most, is when you're made to feel like how you feel is not valid.
Or the way that you're even coming across is like not okay, when you should be able to express your feelings however you can, the best way you can, right? It shouldn't have to be my way or the other person's way to accept it.
And that's just why sometimes I just don't tell people how I fucking feel. Yeah. Because, like, not even just, like, dealing with, like, the opposite sex and dating and shit like that. Sometimes even amongst my own friends, like, I'll be talking to them about some shit and they'll be like, well, you know, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, for real? Like, I can't believe that's how my friends are expressing themselves to me. Granted, that's your perspective and, like, how you feel. But I'm just like, damn, like, I feel like I almost low-key feel like you're telling me, you know, my feelings aren't valid either.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where I'm just like, well, fuck everybody. Let me just go back to Asha's little bubble and being by myself, and let me process this shit to myself and deal with it accordingly. Or, you know, like, I'll get over this shit in time, but I just need to be by myself to process this shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, which probably isn't healthy.
But I don't see why not, because, like, okay, in my life I've been in situations where, say, me and you live together, mm-hmm. and you had a bad day at work or whatever's going on in your life, and you come in the house and you take it out on everybody in the house. Mm-hmm. It's not our fault. We weren't there. We're not even the person that did the shit that made you mad. Mm-hmm. But because you're in this mood now, everybody that comes in your path is now subjected to that. Mm-hmm. I would rather be the person that keeps it to myself than the person that throws it out on everybody else. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's not healthy, but if I can't find that middle ground in between, you know, properly addressing this with the person that caused me the problem, or dealing with it on my own and addressing it another way, then what else is there to do? Then I'm going to just be a jerk either way.
True, but then in the same manner, like, you shouldn't take it out on other people. Like, that's just something that's happened, like, for me. You know what I mean? That I accidentally do take it out on other people that, like, come across my path. But that's why I'm just like, I got to be by myself. Just don't talk to me. Like, I've even came into work before, and then, you know, people were like, oh, hi, Asha, how's it going? I'm like, good. Like, and they're just like, oh, how's this? And I'm like, fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's me, like, trying to be like,
yeah,
just leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm clearly going through some shit. Just stop talking to me. Like, you know, you can be happy and positive over in your own corner. Just let me do me. Like, yes. And just give me a minute. Like, I'll be cool and I'll laugh and kiki with you in a second. But, like, just right now, leave me alone, because I'm not going to be nice to anybody that comes in my path.
So do you think that's part of the problem too, and maybe specifically for women, is that we're not really allowed a lot of time to be mad or be sad?
I feel like everyone's just like, just get over the shit. And
yeah.
I'm like, I get over shit in my own time.
Like, people want you to be on when they're on. So, like, just like you said, you could have had something terrible happen to you. Like, someone in your family passed away, and I still have to go to work. So now I come into work, and you're like, oh my God, hi, what are we going to do? What are you going to eat for lunch? And you're like, no, I'm good. I'm cool. And you're like, but you don't want to come out with us? And you're like, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. And then people still, like, come at you. They don't give you time to be by yourself, even when you're out on the fucking street like strangers. Ooh, why you not smiling? You too pretty not to be smiling. Like, listen, my nigga, you don't know.
Niggas, you just need a smile. Niggas irk my fucking soul. I swear to God, you don't fucking know me. Shut the fuck up. You just finding a reason to talk to me. Like,
that's not the way.
No, dude, it's not. It's really, really not. We don't start there, like, what you got an attitude for.
Like, why are you in my business, stranger?
What? Huh? Come again, sir?
So because I saw you, I need to smile? Or should I just be smiling all the time like a clown?
Oh my gosh. So how do you feel like others communicate? Like, do you think that there's a difference in how women communicate versus how men communicate? Or do you just feel like it's case by case by different individuals?
I think it's definitely individuals. Because
no men, it's not like all men communicate the same way and all women communicate the same way. Like, we're all completely different and built different ways.
Yes,
and do you
by person.
also feel like how you communicate has a lot to do with how you were brought up?
For sure. I would say 100%.
Okay.
I would say 80% your parents in your house, and then 20% like society, school, your friends, everything. Because the people you spend the most time with in your formative years, your family. So that's how you learn how to communicate and like deal with your feelings and everything. So, for example, I don't want to speak for other people, but when you're Black and you're young, girl or boy, when something happens to you, your parents are like, stop crying. Don't cry. Wipe your tears. Stop acting like that. Like, it's okay. It's not that bad. Are you bleeding? Like, at least in my house, like, if you're not bleeding, you're not supposed to cry. So it teaches you from when you're super little to hide your emotions. So how am I now, at 18 to 25, supposed to all of a sudden like shake off those 18 years of teaching me how to hide?
Listen, I could simply say, hey mom, like, can I talk to you? She'd be like, oh God, what do you want to talk about?
What's wrong?
Right. Like, and it's just like so heavy because I want to talk. It's something terrible that has to be happening. I'm like, fuck, like, forget it. I don't even want to talk about it now. You know what I mean? I feel like that definitely like transfers over into, you know what I mean? Like everyday, like occurrences and relationships with other people. Because like when it comes to like deep shit, I don't want to talk about it. You know me, Tam. When it comes to talking about something super deep and important, do I want to talk about it, or would I rather just brush it off and talk about something happy and like surface level?
Yeah. I think also from the other side of it, at least from my upbringing as well, like the religious component. So say if I'm going to go and talk to my mom, she might give me the same reaction as your mom. Like, oh God, what's going on? Like, what happened? Who's pregnant? Who's on drugs? Like, what's happening? But with my grandma, if I tell her anything, like I got a brain tumor, I got AIDS, whatever, she's like, well, you just need to pray about it. Like, ma'am. That's not going to do it. I came to talk to you because I got a problem and you telling me to go talk to somebody else, to go talk to Jesus. So you can't help me.
Yeah.
Jesus does not fix everything. Like, at least not here for me. So what can you do? Or there's some humans you can put me in contact with? Because at what point does praying not turn into talking to myself?
I don't know, man. I just
like the old Black people want you to pray it away, and the young Black people want you to sweep it under the rug.
There is no middle ground.
And then we don't want to go to therapy because that's seen in the Black community as being
crazy.
Weak or you're crazy. I told someone, I feel like I have certain problems with myself and my relationship now because, like, I wasn't raised in the house with a man like that. So I don't really know how to deal with men on a day-to-day basis. Like, I feel like I wasn't taught how to love or respect a man. I was taught how to tolerate a man. So when that toleration goes up, I'm kind of irritated with this nigga. And I'm like, why won't you leave? Or why are you still here? Like, why can't I leave? And maybe I need to go to therapy. And someone was like, oh my God, therapy, it's not that deep. You just need to get over that, or you just need to, like, you talk to your friends. And it's like, you don't think a professional.
Interestingly enough, I don't think I know how to love, if that makes any type of sense.
Well, in what way do you mean? Because I just admitted that I don't know how to love a man specifically. Like, I know how to give love to family members.
Yes.
I know how to give love
Okay,
to
there
children.
you go. I don't know how to love a man. Like,
I don't know what that really means.
Yeah, maybe it's because I've never felt loved, or maybe I've never been given love. You know what I mean? Well, no, I mean, like, let me not say that, because you know what I mean? I do have, like, a father figure in my life that does, like, love and care about me and stuff. But I guess, I don't know. Like, I just don't even know how to, like, go about, like, that. Like, if that even came up in a conversation, I'd be like, well, I'd probably, first of all, I'd call you and I'd be like, damn, I think this nigga loves me. I don't know what to do. Like, what do I say? Like, I think I'm just going to end it because this is just too much for me and I don't know how to process this. Huh?
He's being weird.
Yes.
I don't like it.
I think we've had this conversation before.
But with me, like, I like love and I want to be in love. Like, I believe it.
No,
so
I want the shit too.
So I'll say, like, I love you too. And in my mind, I believe it. But I don't know if I'm, like, showing it.
I don't think I've ever told somebody that before.
Yeah.
Like, ugh, that's like scary territory for me.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then like I think there's like that big fear of rejection too.
Oh, most definitely.
Like, I'm just not that brave.
I never want to be the person to tell a guy I love them first. Like, I'm not about to do that. If you tell me you love me, I'll be like, okay, I love you too.
Like, what the fuck does love even fucking feel like? How do you even know you love a person? Maybe I have felt the shit before and I just didn't know what to call it, you know?
Yeah. Oh God, this is such a deep question.
This is a deep episode, okay? Like, I'm like cringing at the fact that we're gonna put this shit out, honestly.
For me with love, and I don't know, I just take it as, because I don't know if I really received that much of it either, besides like family wise. And I didn't really have like a positive relationship with my dad when I was super young. Like, that's kind of something I worked on by myself when I got older. So being with a guy and like them telling them they love me, firstly, it always just came from them. Like, the guy was like, oh, I love you. And I was like, for real? Like, why?
Mm-hmm.
And then they would tell me, or like, oh yeah, because you're always there for me, or like you look out for me, or when I'm with you, I'm always happy, or blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, so that's your definition of love. So when I felt that same way about people, I was like, oh, okay, I love you. Like, if I know I will be there for you, irregardless of what happens. And like, I always want you to be good, no matter what, even if you're not with me. When I'm with you, I feel like better than I feel when I'm by myself. Like, I'd rather be with you than be by myself. To me, that's love. Like, I love you, you know? But I don't know if that's enough, or like, I don't know if that's what other people deem as love.
I feel like everyone has a different definition.
Yeah, and then I'd
know?
be thinking sometimes, like, maybe because of my life, like, I got low-ass standards for love. Like, a nigga just being around and being cool. Like, so you love him now?
I mean, because no shit, I was like, I mean, that could be the same definition of like.
Yeah.
You know, like, I just don't know how to differentiate the shit, or if I overthink it. You know what I mean? Like, because what's love to me could be normal to somebody else, and just like to somebody else, you know? Maybe it's strong like to somebody else. I don't fucking know what to call the shit.
Well, now that I'm older, I think love is kind of a choice, if that sounds right. Like, I think you are in deep like with somebody and you choose to take it further and you love them, because love is sort of fleeting. Like, a person can sweep you off your feet and like romance you and take you on a crazy like adventure or whatever, and you could be in love with that person. Like, you just want to be around them, they make you super happy, and bad shit can happen and you can fall out of love with the person. So that's why I think it's a choice. Like, choosing to love somebody every day, like your parents being married for 20 something years, like, that's love, because you choose every day, good, bad, or ugly, to be there for this person no matter what. That's love. When people, and maybe that's why I kind of look at men sideways, I don't really take them seriously, and that's bad to say, but that's really how I feel, because I feel like a man will tell a woman he loves her and be all about it, like have a kid, a family, everything, and then go out and fuck it up and not think twice about it and not feel anything, not feel a way about that. So it's like, did you really ever love that person? Because you have no concern for their well-being when they're out of your sight.
You know, I get what you're saying there. Like, you don't just say that, like, and not mean it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I feel like maybe I've never said it to somebody because maybe I don't know, either maybe I was just terrified to say it to somebody. That could be a big reason or big part of it.
And you don't know if they feel the same way.
Yeah, and I just don't want to feel stupid. Like, and you know me too. I hate feeling embarrassed.
That's the same thing for me. I don't like that.
I hate, like, I will go above and beyond to not be embarrassed or feel embarrassed. That's like the worst feeling on earth to me. But like, two, I don't know, like, maybe I just never felt like somebody's really had my back in that manner. Maybe that's my definition. I don't know, like, just really feeling like somebody's got me, you know?
And that's what it is for me. Like, if you have my back, like, and I don't want to take it deep like marriage, like sickness and health and all of that, but let's put it in terms of like, if you are,
like, if you go through some traumatic shit.
Yeah, and you're there.
Something really bad happens. Like, perfect example. Like, you know, like someone that I used to deal with or whatever. Like, you know, I went through like one of like the lowest points of my life. And then the fact that dude just like up and deserted me, like in a time when I felt like I needed him around the most. Like, I'm just like, okay, like, that means whatever we had was never real and I could never fuck with you ever again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. I don't know if love is just being there for somebody, like just in general, but maybe that's just my definition.
For me, that's how I know how to give love, is just like holding somebody down.
Yeah.
So like whatever you need, I'm gonna be here. If I got it, you got it. If you are in a bad way, like I'm there. Whatever I can do to help you out, I'm gonna help you out. If you're in the hospital, I'm gonna take you to the hospital.
Right. Even if I don't know how to console you, I'll still be there to listen.
Yeah, and I'll try. I'll give my best.
That's enough for me. Like even like with friends, like if I don't know how to console you about some shit you're going through, I can sit here and listen to you. Mm-hmm. I might not even have shit to say back, but if you need somebody to vent to and talk about the shit with, I'll be here to sit and listen. Because sometimes people don't even want you to comment. They just want to have someone listen to them and hear them out.
Yeah, for real.
Just that support. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I just want to feel like you have my back. And then if you really have me, God knows.
Okay.
I will go above and beyond for you. Like, to the fullest extent. And, like, I don't know. Did you find out what your love language is?
My love language is definitely gifts and shit. Because my family is materialistic. Like, they bought my love, so I try to buy other people's love.
Listen, if I buy you a gift, like, that means I fuck with you.
I fuck with you. Like, what? If I went somewhere, I brought you back something.
Yeah, I don't know how to say how I feel necessarily. Like, but like, you know, like, oh, you know, I went to this one place and I saw this little thing and I know this person's going to like it. Like, let me just grab that for them because I know it's going to make this person smile, you know?
Them happy. I think just what you said before that, it really made me think the first person I loved in my life, and maybe like one of the deepest loves I've had for another person, is my grandma, because she's like always been there no matter what since I was basically born. Like, I don't recall being with another person every day like that. Like, cooked me breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like taught me how to read, taught me how to play cards, taught me all of these things, and was just always there. Even when I like disappointed her, she's always there, and never wavering either. Like, there's never a time where I called her and she couldn't help, or she wasn't, like, just like you're saying, in whatever capacity she was able to do something, she was going to do that. Like, if it's money, she's going to do that. If it's present, she's going to do that. If you need like her to come pick you up, she's going to do that. So seeing that and receiving that from her, that's how I give love to other people. So if you're my friend, or if I really care about you and I love you, it's nothing that you can't ask me for. If I got it, like, I'm going to help you out. If you need me to come pick you up from fucking like the airport in the middle of the night, if you, like, we talked about it before on the episode, if you did a crime and you need somebody to help you, like, get away to Mexico, like, I'm going to try and be there for you because I fuck with you. And, like, when I say that to somebody, I really mean it. Mm-hmm. So, it's nothing that you can't do. Even if it's romantic and we break up, if it wasn't bad, if I still fuck with you, like, you can still get some help from me because, damn, like, we dapped up, we're cool forever. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, I don't really know how to express love to people.
In a verbal form, like, no, yeah. Like, I feel like I've given, like, nice cards, and, like, I can write a nice little message or something, or, I don't know, like, get a nice, like, a gift or something. I got you a really cool, like, friendship bracelet or something one year for your birthday. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. And I don't know. I haven't found a way to, like, communicate, like, with the opposite sex about that type of stuff, because I'm not out here tricking. Let's just be clear about that.
Yeah, you can't do that. At least not in LA. You cannot get caught out here buying shit. Because you look stupid real quick. You know? Maybe if you live in a small town, niggas are more loyal. I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know. It's just so interesting, like, the different factors that play a part into, like, how we all communicate, especially with technology these days, too.
What about how people communicate with you? I found that as I get older, I don't know what it is, but just certain forms of communication don't work well with me. And it just causes me to be like, nah, I'm good. So if you come loud, if you're yelling, if it's at any way I feel disrespectful, like I'm just not even trying to entertain it. I don't care. I don't want to talk to you.
I hate when people talk over me. Because I feel like that's like a trigger for me, like from my childhood. Like, I'd be trying to say something to my mom and she would just be like, talk so loud, like over me. And I'm just like, bro, like what you're saying doesn't even make any like logical sense. Like, and you're only choosing to see this from your perspective.
Or you just trying to shut me down.
Yes. Like, so when I talk to people, I try to like step outside my shoes and be like, okay, like, how did this person perceive it? Okay, like, maybe they thought about it this way and that's why they acted in the way that they did, because I felt like my feelings were like just thrown in like the corner, you know, like, and it was like your way or the highway. There was no other possible solution or perspective in how this manner was being viewed, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so I can't stand it when people talk over me, like, or yell, like how you said, like, irks me completely. And this isn't a conversation anymore. This is a yelling match between you and yourself.
Yes.
And I'm not going to participate.
Yes.
Because nothing's getting solved.
Yelling, and then my other thing would have to be rhetorical questions. And I know that that's a trigger from my childhood, because I don't know what it is, like Black families and parents, they be like, what did I just say? And didn't I? And blah, blah. When you start doing that to me, asking rhetorical questions like, what would you do if I did blah, blah, blah? I'm like, my nigga, that's not even a possibility. That's not even what we're talking about now. But you asking this, and especially when I know you're asking something just to help your stupid case or your stupid side of the argument. Like, I'm not about to say yes to that question so you could further send you on a 5-minute tangent about some shit that you're wrong about anyways. But you formulated this question just to prove yourself right so you can keep talking. Like, no, I'm not about to say shit now. Keep talking to yourself like you've been doing.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. It's interesting.
And just the louder you get, the less I respect what you have to say.
Right. Or like, someone could be talking to me and like say something like in a joking manner, and then I try to say something back in a joking manner. They're like, I was joking. And I'm just like, I was too.
Right.
Like, I didn't take what you said like seriously, and I don't know why everyone thinks that I take everything that they say in like a serious manner. I don't know if it's my facial expressions or like
if my joke was just better, don't be mad. Now you taking it personal.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I'll pay more attention to that, like how people like choose to communicate with me. I never like took that into account, honestly.
Oh, nothing irks me more than that, how you are choosing to communicate with me, because I feel like, because I'm really big on reciprocity and stuff, like however you come to me is how I'm going to come to you. So if you come rude, I kind of don't have a choice but to put up some type of level of barrier between you and I now, because you've already started off on the wrong foot. Or if you're getting loud, or if you're being overly aggressive, like how can I have to match that energy to even communicate with you now. Because like you said, if you come to me yelling, I can't speak in a calm, clear voice because you fucking yelling. You don't even hear me. So I have to yell now just to even talk to you, Hulk.
And then, blood's going to start boiling.
Yeah. And why do we have to do that?
Right. We can't just have like a civil conversation and talk.
Like two adults. So if you're not willing to do that, then how? Like, I remember I used to get in trouble so much because they're like, when your mom is talking to you or when I'm talking to you, you just stand there and it's disrespectful. Like the look on your face, you just look like you don't care. And it's like, because you're just talking so much and all you're saying is negative things and they're directed towards me. I'm the only person standing here. I'm the person you're talking to. So I'm a kid. I can't yell back at you. I can't argue back at you. I can't flat out tell you you're wrong, which I feel that you are. Mm-hmm. So I have to stand here and take it. Why the fuck does the look on my face have to do anything about it? You're saying what you got to say, right? That doesn't make you feel empowered because you're yelling and shit. You all loud. So you should be satisfied.
I don't know.
I'm doing what I can.
Lord have mercy.
Man, I'm doing what I can. And I cannot stand a rhetorical question. I cannot stand you're not even listening to me. What did I just say? Like, oh my God.
Do you talk with your hands?
Oh my God. I try not to because I feel like that is combative. Like that can be taken as aggressive to certain people. Because if you're talking to me with your hands too much, I might feel like you're about to hit me or something. I got to hit you.
Oh no. I totally talk with my hands. I actually had a manager that was like, well, I thought you wanted to fight me because you kept clapping when you was talking. And I was just like, oh shit. Did I really turn on the hood rat at work? Like,
you kept clapping.
And I was like, I just don't understand why you're coming at me like that. Like,
I would never think clapping meant somebody wanted to fight. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, you kept clapping your hands, so I called the police because it made me feel unsafe.
Oh my God. Can't do shit.
You can't do shit.
Fuck.
I meant moving your hands around, like waving your hands in the air.
You know, and if I would have did sign language, then I would have been throwing up gang signs. So, you know.
Oh, shit. There's nothing you can do.
Officer, how did she even know I was throwing up gang signs? Is she a part of it?
That's what I would say. I'd be like, so where's this bitch from? Since you know so much, who you be kicking it with?
Exactly. So, I don't know. But you guys, this is a really interesting topic, and we really want to know, like, how you communicate. Have you had a situation lately where you felt like you couldn't communicate how you felt and how you chose to go about that situation? Men, I would love to know if you have communication issues or if you're an expert communicator and how you deal with women like myself that don't know how to tell you what's wrong.
I feel like y'all just lie. Like, y'all are real good at just mirroring what you feel like a person wants.
No, listen, they're good at flipping.
That too.
You are expert flippers. You will flip the shit to work in your favor. And
yeah, I feel like women just have not mastered that yet.
Teach me how to flip.
A class on flipping the script.
Show me the way to manipulate a person's mind. Teach me, nigga. Did y'all like that?
Oh my gosh. Show me the ways to manipulate a mind.
Teach me.
I was always thought to be a man, you should never simp.
Okay.
You guys are making redheaded and some shit, and they'll be like, well, what was you doing out? Why would you even here? You told me you was with your grandma.
You know what? I'm going to just say this and I'm going to be done. Prime example is in that Isley Brothers song.
Oh, shit.
Busted. It's 2 damn o'clock in the morning. Where you been?
Maybe you can get my 2.
Used to lie. I called Keisha and Tanya and they was... I thought that you was shopping. Now you said you was dancing. Like, I've listened to that song so many fucking times, trying to break it down and like diffuse it. And I'm like, no, she followed the story. You just flipped it to confuse her mid-song because she did say that she was out at the club at Kisses. And she said the homegirl that she was with. Yeah. And then you try to be like, well, how the hell is she your friend if you don't know if she got kids? Like, nigga, we're not talking about that. Why is that important?
Why is her family like my business? Maybe she my club homegirl, and we meet at the club and we do club shit.
Exactly.
She not my church homegirl.
At first you said you was shopping. Now you went dancing. No, nigga, I said I was dancing at first. I didn't say I was shopping at first. Listen to Busted. Listen to that shit, and you will see how you niggas flip shit to work in your fucking favor.
Oh, innocent.
No, you're guilty. Is that where y'all niggas learned? From Mr. Big?
From Mr. Big.
All right, I'm done.
I'm done with y'all too.
Okay. But yeah, let us know how you communicate and shit, okay?
Bye.
Bye.